So now that we are coming into summer, we're going to have a look at a nice kind of refreshing drink for summertime. So we're going to make some smoothies. I've got two different kind of blenders here today. So I've got a kind of a built-in bottle smoothie blender. But also, if you don't have a smoothie maker, it doesn't mean you can't make smoothies. We're also going to use just kind of our, I suppose our liquidizer for making soup and things like that. You can make smoothies with that too. So we're going to make two slightly different variations in the two different blenders, just to see the kind of difference. So today we're using apple mango, I've got some frozen raspberries as well, some yogurt, some apple juice to add as well. So we're just going to prepare each ingredient and kind of split half and half into the two containers, and we'll see if we notice any difference then as well between the two blenders that we're going to use today too. Okay, so we're going to start with our mango. I'm actually going to use like a vegetable peeler to peel the skin off the mango, and then we'll slice all the flesh out of the centre of it as well. And then there's kind of a hard stone in the middle that we want to kind of cut around. So we don't want to take too much of the skin away, so as little as possible. And that's why these kind of vegetable peelers are great as well. Okay, so once you have the skin all removed from your mango and any little brown bits or anything like that removed, we're just going to slice it. So as I said, there's kind of like a hard stone kind of down through the centre of the mango, so we're going to keep going in until we reach that. So always holding your fruit or whatever you're slicing with kind of a claw-shaped hand, and then putting down onto the chopping board. So just kind of rotate it ever so slightly as you go around, and you'll notice you'll kind of start reaching a kind of a harder portion of the fruit as you go through. Okay, so when you've got all the fruit removed, you'll notice there's kind of a hard portion in the middle. It's a much better kind of whiter colour as well, so you'll know once you've gotten all the flesh off of that. So we're going to divide the flesh that we have. Some of the bigger slices you might just need to slice a little bit more. We're going to just divide them between our two containers because we're going to try out the two different ones. Okay, the next thing we're going to prepare is our apple. And I suppose the important thing to remember about apples is they will go brown once you slice them, as with many other fruits, but particularly apples go quite quickly. So we're going to just slice it into 4 parts, and then remove the core of the apple carefully. So you can remove as little as possible once you've got the core removed. And today we're going to peel our apple as well, because the skin, although it's really high in fibre, it's a really healthy part of the apple, it doesn't really blend, and you end up with kind of lumps of skin in your smoothie. If you want to eat it after you peel it off, you can of course, because it is, as I said, really nutritious. It just doesn't really blend very well in the blender. If you come across any little bruised parts as well, you can just slice them away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop them into our containers. And at this stage, I'm going to pop a little bit of apple juice just in over it. And that will just help prevent it from going to brown. If you had a little bit of, if you had a basin of water with a drop of lemon juice in it, you could pop it into that as well either. So you can see there, I'm just very carefully removing the skin of the apple. I'm using a knife at the moment. It takes a lot of practice, but you can of course peel apples, oranges, things like that with a knife. I'll do the next one with a peeler. It's a very similar kind of process. So just remove the core, and then instead of using the knife, I'm just going to use my peeler and just remove the skin as well. With the peeler, it's always handy because you know that you're only going to take a small amount of the skin away. With the knife, you have to take your time and make sure you're only taking a very thin layer off. We want to keep all of the flesh of our apple there as well. And then they can go in as well. And again, I'm just going to pop a tiny drop of apple juice over them just to prevent them from going brown. Okay, so I have my 2 containers here. I'm going to split the raspberries that I have here between them. So as I said, these are frozen raspberries. If you're fresh, you can use fresh either. That's the great thing about making smoothies, is you can get so many frozen berries, frozen pre-chopped fruits as well now. It makes making smoothies really quick and easy as well. And then we're going to add some extra apple juice to one. We're going to add some yoghurt to the other. So I'm going to pop the apple juice into this one. And it depends on how thick you like your smoothies, how much liquid you need to add. You can add juice, you can add yoghurt. Obviously the yoghurt will add some extra calcium to our smoothie for us. Other extra things that you can add as well are things like seeds or nuts. You could add things like porridge oats if you wanted, to make it a little bit more filling, add some extra fibre as well. So once all of your ingredients are in, we can get ready to blend. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is our actual smoothie maker. So I'm just going to pop the blade on first. Make sure when you're using anything like this that everything's clicked in right. And then we are going to blend it until it is completely smooth. Okay, so this is the one that we put the yogurt into. So you can see it has kind of a creamy almost colour to it. The raspberries have blended through it as well and given it a fantastic pink colour. And it's really cold as well because those raspberries were frozen, so that'll kind of add to the texture of it as well. Okay, so to blend our second one, we're going to use kind of just our liquidizer or our food processor. It will take a little bit longer and you need a little bit more patience as well, just to make sure that you get all of them blended. But if you work away at it slowly, it will blend together as well. Now, so you can see there, I have our other one blended, and I suppose you can see a slight difference in the colour as well. Because we didn't put any yogurt into this one here, you can see it's not quite as creamy. But again, it's got a lovely kind of thick, kind of frozen, kind of slushy consistency because of those frozen raspberries as well. So we'll just get these served up now. Okay, so we are going to kind of serve our smoothies up in these fancy glasses. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little coating just around the top here of some sugar. So to do that, I have a plate here just with some water on it. And I'm just going to wet the tip of my glass, and then I'm going to just dip the edge in this plate of sugar that I have. Just keep going until you make sure you've got all around the edge. Give it a quick tap and you get a lovely kind of crystallized topping on the top of your glass then. So I'm going to do that with the two of them. And then I am going to serve up our lovely smoothies. So this is our raspberry, mango and apple smoothie. And this is the one we have the yogurt in as well. So other things you could add, if you prefer it a little bit sweeter, you could add things like honey, maple syrup, even some sugar if you wanted. You can see this one's a little bit less creamy because there's no yogurt in it. You could add things like peanut butter, as I said, nuts and seeds, porridge oats. So you can really get creative with these. My kind of rule of thumb is have 2 to 3 fruits, some kind of liquid, whether it's juice or yogurt, and then serve them up. You can serve them with a straw. I've got a reusable straw here. I suppose we don't really want to be using plastic straws anymore, but you get some pretty paper straws as well.